My name is Stephen Dunlap. I teach band, which includes the wind ensemble and the concert band. I teach a percussion ensemble. I teach guitar, and I also work with an after-school jazz band. I had an older sister. I had two parents who were really into music as well, and so a lot of my extended family were musicians or played music in high school. A lot of my cousins played music, so I followed them into music. I also played a lot of sports. I played a lot of soccer, and I played saxophone and bassoon in my middle school and high school bands. I ran track. I did a lot of other school things. I mean, I liked all my classes and I was a bit of a nerd. But it was a pretty typical childhood. I was a really good student. I worked hard and I did my homework, so I did well. I had an amazing high school band director who worked me really, really hard. He was very demanding and expected a lot from me, but he also pushed me, and that helped me grow. I had a really good middle school band director. I had a really good soccer coach who was one of my mentors, and I also had a saxophone teacher and a bassoon teacher who worked with me throughout high school. Those 5 people were all very important to shaping the type of teacher that I want to become. I knew that I liked teaching pretty early on, and I knew that in high school I was a good teacher, as a leader on my soccer team, as the leader in the band. I knew I was good at that, but I don't think I realized yet that that's what I wanted to do as a profession. So in college, while I was exploring a lot of different subjects, I realized that teaching is the way that I decided I could affect the most people in the most profound way. And so as college went on, I became more and more drawn to teaching over the other things I was doing, until the end when I was 100% certain that that's what I wanted to do. The obvious answer is the students, because one of the nice things about being a band director is I get to work with all of my students for 4 years. I get to see them come in as freshmen who might not know as much, they might not be as good musicians, but they all want to work hard and they all want to improve, and then to see them as seniors leading the band, making the decisions for what we need to work on, how we're going to improve, how they can help younger students, how they can make the band better and how they can improve the band. Seeing them make all those decisions and really be the leaders of the band after just what feels like 3 very fast years is really exciting. Getting to watch that growth is very, very exciting. On a regular school day, I probably get home anywhere between 4 and 8 o'clock. I have a dog, so the first thing I do is I play with her and I take her for a walk. I generally try to do some email before I go to bed, and I'll do any other planning that I need around 9 or 10. Generally, when I'm preparing for concerts, I do a lot of work early in a concert, where I'm studying the music that we're working on and I'm doing that preparation, and then as the concert gets really close, I'll listen to recordings of our rehearsals each night before the next day, and I'll take notes. I'll do that anytime at night. If I have a long drive, I'll try to listen to the recordings in the car and listen to the rehearsals and take notes in my head and write stuff down anytime the night before to make sure that I know what we're going to work on the next day. I like going on walks and runs with my dog, hanging out with my friends, go to some movies. I like watching all the Marvel movies. I like going out for food with my friends and my coworkers. I hope people see me as an exciting teacher. I hope people see me as a teacher that enjoys what they do, that enjoys the subject and enjoys working with the students. So I hope that I come across as having fun with what we do, students don't have to take music classes. We choose to take music classes, and I really appreciate that students give their time to a subject that they don't necessarily have to take, even though I think it's really important. So I hope I seem exciting and full of love for my subject and love for my students. Again, my students, they're what make the subjects fun. There's always something new, and there's always a new way to try to reach them. It's really, really exciting when a student comes in with something that they've worked on their own and they want my help with. When those moments when students go above and beyond and they work harder or prepare more music or have new material that they want to ask me questions about, those exciting moments are always really fun and inspiring for me. I think that a good band program should have 3 core things, which is an awesome wind ensemble, an awesome marching band, and an awesome jazz band. And so I think the jazz band is sort of that third component of that foundation that you have to have. Jazz is America's music. It's the thing that we invented here, and it's an incredibly important version of self-expression. And it's just really fun, so I like having that. Yes, I feel very overwhelmed a lot because I try to demand a lot for myself and for my students. So generally when I'm overwhelmed is because I think that we need to be better and we need to be further along in the cycle than we are when we're preparing for a concert. Normally I cope with it by working harder. I'll start making sure I'm listening to rehearsal every single day. I'll make sure that I'm taking notes. I'll make sure that I'm giving students exactly the information that they need. I normally start by questioning myself and seeing what I'm forgetting to do and making sure that I kind of go back to basics and take care of learning music. When other things seem stressful, I try to get back to the music and the teaching part of that. I expect them to work hard. I expect them to want to improve. I expect them to be kind and supportive of other students. I expect them to look out for what's good for the program and to see the vision of how to make the band the very best that they can over their 4 years that they are there. Of course I want them to improve individually as well, but generally I think that if each student is invested in the goal of making the band better, that helps the students be their best as well. I think they're the same thing. I think that they've definitely changed my life. I've learned a lot from working with students. I think that I've grown a lot as a teacher and as a person from everything they've shared with me. But I also hope that I have a lot of experiences that I've been able to share with them. I hope I've been able to inspire them and give them an example of how to work hard at something you really enjoy. Yes, I do try to communicate with them because we have to be on the same page. We have to have the same mission. If we don't know what we're all doing in that room together during a rehearsal, it can get crazy very fast. 60 people need to be on the same page, and so I try very hard to send them emails and check in with them one-on-one to make sure that we all know what's happening. I think demonstrating passion for the subject will always go a really, really long way. I think finding a way to engage teachers outside of the class period is a great way to learn from them and to benefit from their knowledge. Sometimes within the 50 minutes of a class it can be kind of overwhelming to cover everything we need to, but whenever a student comes up to me outside of class and wants to talk about something and work with something, it's always a really fun chance to build that relationship. I hope so. I try not to worry about it too much because I love doing it now, and as long as I keep on love doing it, I plan to. But I had a teacher once tell me that they try to focus on making sure that during that year that they make the band program and they help every student as much as possible, that to not worry too much about 30 years, that can be kind of formidable, but tackle each year at a time and be the very best teacher I can at that time. So I suspect I'll be a teacher my whole life, but I don't worry about it too much.